probably would have been necessary. But I said, we have the Marshal's office, we have the police service in Parliament. I mean, how would soldiers fully armed with AK-47s come onto the floor of Parliament? It's unthinkable. And it was actually a day of shame for Ghana. Ghana is seen as one of the leading democracies in Africa. How military officers armed with AK-47s came into Parliament, onto the floor, to break up a brawl. I mean, it's most unfortunate. And I think that some investigation should have been conducted to find out how it happened, so that it doesn't happen in the future.
So if you ever get the chance again, do we hope that these are the investigations you plan to swing into action?
Yeah. Investigation into how 8 of our citizens were killed in an election. I mean, there's no statute of limitation on murder. And so if we do come into office, we're going to investigate and find out who gave the instruction to kill 8 people in our elections.
Now, those who are in office and those who probably are culpable, when they hear this, don't you think that they will do everything possible to stop you from getting back into office?
Well, it's for the people of Ghana to decide. It's not for them.
You were nicknamed Mr. Damso, something you also joked about when you had the opportunity to, and it was because of economic wars and power shortages on and off power and corruption scandals. Do you think it was an unfair label, even when you found it humorous?
Yeah, it was. Because the actual cause of what you're referring to is the energy crisis Ghana went through. The actual cause of the energy crisis was the lack of investment over the years by previous governments in generation. Ghana's consumption had been rising by about 12% per annum in terms of electricity consumption. But the investment in additional generation had been very slow. And so we got to a stage where we're demanding and consuming more electricity than we had generation. We had the Akosombo Dam. We thought Akosombo would last forever. Unfortunately, it didn't. And so we were consuming like 2,600 megawatts, and our production was 2,300 megawatts.
Okay.
And so we had to go through a period of outages. Now, what did I do? I took responsibility. I didn't blame previous governments. I said, yes, you call me Mr. Dumso. I inherited this problem, but I take responsibility for it because you voted me into power to take responsibility and fix things. And so I said, I'm going to fix this. And by 2015, I had added an additional almost 3,000 megawatts to Ghana's generation. I was actually accused of putting in excess generation, more generation that we needed.
Okay.
But again today, let me tell you, we're consuming 2,600 megawatts. Today we're consuming almost 1,000 megawatts more.
Okay.
And so if I didn't put in that excess generation, we probably would have started having energy crisis again. Okay. And it's beginning to happen. Outages every day because the consumption has caught up with the amount of energy that is available. Okay. And we're beginning to have problems.
Thank you very much, and we'll take another break, and when we come back, we'll certainly be talking the judiciary. We'll also be talking African democracy in general and widely. It is NBS Face Off. It is still NBS Face Off, and I still do have my guest, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, former President of the Republic of Ghana. And let's talk African politics in general. Many African countries are struggling with the whole concept of democracy. Some say it is even alien to who we are. We come from chiefdoms and kingdoms, and it has also, unfortunately, been characterized by leaders who stay long in power. Some voted, others by use of force and state resources helping themselves to those. Do you think, as a student of social psychology, that this is a problem for Africa?
You see, there's no one size fits all. And so everybody aspires to democracy and freedom. But we must look at our individual circumstances. There are countries where I wouldn't say they don't have democracy. What happens is every country learns democracy at its pace. You must go through those experiences. Ghana is where it is because we've had a lot of turbulence. We had Kwame Nkrumah, we had General Ankara, we had Afrifa, we had Buzia, we had General Achampong, we had Akufo, we had Flight Lieutenant Rawlings, and then Rawlings again, Kufuor. We've